Welcome to Navigating Your 20s. I'm your host, Jess Hugo, and I am so excited to have you here. I'm an online personal trainer and nutritionist, but honestly, underneath it all, I am just a girl who is struggling, thriving, and surviving somehow all at once. So if this is you, you are not alone. If you want all the juicy tea on what it's like to be a girl navigating her 20s, I'm talking relationships, health, fitness, social life, work, and everything in between, then you're in the right place.
Oh my gosh, there is so much to talk about. I feel like we haven't spoken in a hot minute. I'm so excited now that everyone is here and it's out in the open because the vibes are really high and you're probably going to feel that energy here. Not that there wasn't energy before. If anything, I was even more candid. And when on the day of the launch of my podcast, I said to my partner, oh my God, now I feel so awkward that everyone knows everything about me. And he was like, that's just you in general. And it is true. I always get a little bit awkward about it only because I almost get shocked and surprised when people remember things about me because I've always felt like that type of person that's like not memorable. No one actually cares. And it feels so strange to now have so many people in my world that genuinely care about me. I of course care about them, but sometimes it can feel almost transactional as a coach. Sometimes people don't say thank you. Sometimes people don't actually appreciate you and acknowledge the hard work you put in. And that's not been the case for me with the people in my world at the moment. It's all been really, really loving. And I just feel like they've just been like my besties. Like literally one of my clients was like, enjoy Newcastle this weekend. I was like, oh my God, like you remembered. And it's just wild. So I feel like now that everyone's here, like, hey, don't bring it up because I just get so awkward. I'm joking, but like I am a bit awkward. I'm such a loser about it for no reason. Anyway, but I feel like before I just chatted as if no one was listening. So I want to keep bringing that energy because at the end of the day, I just want to speak like what's on my mind and just chit chat. So I'm just going to talk like no one's watching, no one's listening, all of the things. And I want to come in with a really like candid, life uncut, self-comparison kind of topic today, overthinking all of the things. But let's do a little bit of a weekly recap first. First and foremost, the missing t-shirt has been found. I repeat, the missing t-shirt has been found. You may or may not know, depending on if you're in my world or not, I wore this very specific t-shirt to the Sydney FC game in December 28th to be exact. Everyone thought I was a freak for having the date. Guys, I take so many photos of every single thing I do. I literally simply just took a photo when I was at the event. So it's the Breakfast Club shirt I have from Muscle Nation. It was like brand new. I got it in the Black Friday sale. It's like a polar grey and on the front is like a banana, I think, and like a smoothie, and it says like kilometers for breakfast or whatever. It's like a run club thing. I just thought it was really cute and she is perfect. Like if you are a Muscle Nation purchaser, you would know that their oversized tees are honestly a bit humongous. Like they drown me. I'm a short girl. So the sleeves like come past my elbows and I just feel like I look like a drowned rat in them. And I try to do the cute tuck in. Of course I do. But it just still does not look that good on me because I have such a small like frame. I'm such a short gal. So this one was 2 extra small. That's like a competitive sizing at Muscle Nation because we're all the same. We all want the smallest size because they're so oversized already. I honestly think even the 2 extra small is technically like a medium or a large if it was like a regular t-shirt. Anyway, so I had this 2 extra small shirt. She was the best thing ever. The breakfast one. I was wearing her a lot. Well, actually, I got her and normally I wash my clothes, but I wanted to wear her to this event. And then I wore her to the event and I was like, this is the best shirt ever. I'm going to wash it and I'm like going to wear it ASAP. Like this is the best thing ever. All my other ones are an extra small or a small and I swim in them, honestly. Anyway, so I put it in the wash. I was like to my mum, this is new. Like, can you put a collar thing in? Blah, 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 blah. And then I never saw it again. In our house, we kind of take turns-ish with hanging the washing out. Like if you're there and you see the basket and like the washing is done, just do it. I did not hang out the washing on that day. And I was like to my mum, did it go up on the line? Like, where is this t-shirt? And she was like, like I can't really remember, but I remember like talking about it and putting it in and stuff like that. Because obviously we had the conversation about it being new, needing the color thing, stuff like that. But no one could remember if it had like gone on the line, come off the line, whatever. So literally this shirt was missing for the whole entire January and half of February. Everyone was looking. The thing about my family, especially my dad, he barely even knows my business name, even though it's literally on a banner out the front. So the fact that he knew what shirt we were looking for meant serious business. Everyone was looking for this fucking t-shirt because I was making a big fucking deal about it. I was going through everyone's wardrobes. I was blaming everyone. I was putting out Amber Alerts in the family group chat saying, this shirt's been missing since December 28th. Like, who has it? I FaceTimed my sister and was like, have you seen it? I was accusing everyone. I was going through my dad's clothes, going through my mom's clothes. Like, I was accusing. And everyone was like, no, I haven't seen it. Whatever. A couple of weeks went on, and every few like days we would be like, okay, where's my shirt? Where's my shirt? Luke was doing the most. He was looking behind the washing machine, like in the gaps, because you know how like you see on TikTok videos of like socks and shit like stuck in the washing machine? That is what he was doing. He was like looking in those areas. He was going through everything, like, and we could not find it. The thing about this house is everything goes missing. He literally lost his birth certificate not that long ago, but that is a whole nother story. Just shit always goes missing in this house, and it kills me. It really killed me as well, though, that I only got to wear this shirt once. She was perfect. I was like, seriously, what the fuck? Anyway, I kind of let it go, but then when I was getting ready this week to pack for Newcastle, I was like, no, I really want this shirt to take. And I was like to Luke, I'm going to pull all of my coat hangers out of my wardrobe because I hang up my activewear shirt. So I was like, it has to be hung up. I'm going to pull all the coat hangers out, and I'm going to look behind it in case anything's fallen off, because for some reason I'm like obsessed with puffers, vests, things like that. Anyone would think I lived in Melbourne. I do not want to live in Melbourne, but you know, I'm prepared to go. I'm prepared for the snow season. I've never gone to like New Zealand or any snow place, so I'm prepared to go, but I have a lot of puffers in my wardrobe and they literally like bending and breaking my coat hangers. Need a new solution for that, but that's another problem for another day. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just fallen off. Like, these puffers fall off all the time. Like, it's probably fallen off. Like, Luke, I'm gonna take everything out. And then he was like, no, like, I'll find it. And I was like, okay, like, so I was about to go through and rip everything apart, but then he was like, no, I'll have a look. And then he had a look. I don't know if he even went into my wardrobe, because I like walked away, and then he went into my chest of drawers and he found the shirt in my fucking pajama drawer after weeks, like months of looking. It was in my pajama drawer, still inside out from where we like fucked with it in the wash, just sitting there. And further to the point, it was like on top. And I had been in that drawer like 3 days prior because I pulled out track pants for an early morning PT session, and it was really cold. It was like 5 a.m. and I pulled those track pants out, and then the shirt was right there, like to the point I probably moved the shirt out of the way to grab the track pants. And I was like, that is enough. If that is not a sign to declutter my life and go through my fucking pajama drawer, that, like, I don't know what is. I have been very, very bad. I own all of Peter Alexander. Every time there's a Boxing Day sale, you will see me in that store. This year I had to really hold myself back because I know that I have an flowing drawer. I'm only one girl, and I honestly will like change my pajamas and rotate between like 2 or 3 ones. And I think my goal this year is to start pulling out some of my old ones, washing them because they're dusty from being in the fucking drawer, and actually wearing them. That is going to be one of my goals that I'm adding to my goals list, because it's actually a joke. It's so ridiculous that I just have this drawer full of it, and you can barely close the drawer anymore. But I think it's a universal thing for girls in their 20s, because I saw a TikTok of someone with the exact same issue, and I was like, see, I knew it was normal. I sent it to Luke and I was like, yep, that's me, like right here. I could have made this video myself. So I was packing for Newcastle because I had booked tickets I booked them at Christmas for a comedy show. Aaron Chen, if you know, you know. Fisk, if you don't, that's fine. And he didn't have any Sydney shows. So I was like, let's just go to Newcastle. Honestly, it was such a good vibe. I've never been to the Civic Theatre before, but it was very nice inside. And honestly, it was like cheap. It was $50 per ticket. It was just a good vibe. I liked it. It was fun, just exploring and things. I don't think I've ever really been to Newcastle before. So it was just fun, like walking around, exploring things like that. We actually got soldered bracelets for like an early Valentine's Day situation, and that was super fun as well. It's such a simple process, and it wasn't like exactly what I was expecting, but it was still fun and all of that. What else has been happening in my life? To be honest, I have a lot more to talk about, but I'm going to give one more thing because I feel like I've been yapping and I really want to get into a little bit of self-comparison and things that have been on my mind. But Oh my gosh, I have a horror story time for you. I need to share this because if someone's listening to this and has insight, that would be actually great because I'm stuck and I don't know where to go with this. So as you guys know, I shared my goals with you and something I want to do this year is travel more. I did say in that I do want to travel Australia, but then I thought, okay, let's do like one semi-big trip this year. I actually haven't been away anywhere, even in like Australia. Obviously Newcastle and stuff don't count. I mean like away, since October 2022 when I was still face-to-face at Virgin Active. And that was a stressful time because I had like fucking 30 clients that I was trying to rework while I went away, and even to the point that some of them were like texting me about our sessions while I was away and I was in the middle of the fucking ocean and their texts weren't even coming through. So that holiday I wouldn't even say was relaxing, it was stressful if anything. So like I haven't had a holiday in a while and I was like, let's do something big, or like why not? We saw on the back of the Audi catalog that Virgin have like a cruise coming up. It's adults only. I don't even know if I've mentioned this or not, but I'll just do a short little recap. Adults only, goes to Europe, all of the things. I was like, wow, okay, cool. I Googled it. I found a better deal on like mycruises.com and Flight Center. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like it was an extended stay. It would have been like they fly you over, you have a hotel stay in Athens, you get on the boat. Virgin Voyages is like semi-new. I'm here for an adults only moment. I'm in that phase of my 20s where I don't want to hear your screaming fucking kids, to be honest. So that sounded exciting. I love a good cruise moment because it is a little bit less stressful to organize. I just don't think that I have the brain capacity at the moment to book a whole entire Europe trip. I kind of like it being done for me, and I'm not a very seasoned traveler. So I think this would be like the best way to go and enjoy it and stuff without having to worry about finding good restaurants or finding good places to stay and doing the touristy things and things like that. I even struggled in Newcastle. I was looking up all these different things to do. It's so hard to find information when you haven't been somewhere. So I just was like, that's too stressful. But this deal on the cruise sounds great. I'm going to inquire. I inquired with both of them and neither of them contacted me. What the hell is going on? You had to contact them by the 31st of Jan. I put my inquiry in a little bit late. It was like the 28th, but I didn't find out about it until the back end of January anyway. And then one of them messaged me on the 1st and I was like, I thought the deal was done. Like you had to inquire by the 31st and book by the 31st, which they've now extended it, fuckers. And then the other one, it got back to me on like the 4th or something like that. And I was like, this is wild. Like, do they not want my money? I really just wanted to book. They didn't give a fuck. Long story short, Flight Center actually was like, oh, what's your budget? And I was like, this is so confusing because I applied and inquired for a specific cruise. And then the other place sent me an email with the information that was already on the website. And then they eventually called me, but I was literally working. It was like 5 o'clock on the dot on like a random Monday or Wednesday or something like that. And I was working and I was like, okay, weird vibes. That was so annoying. Do you not want my commission? Do you not want like to book it for me? You know what I mean? And they were very strange and like withholding information. They wanted you to put down like at least 50% worth in a deposit before you even found out the flight situation. And that was like a big red flag for me because I pre-looked up the flights, assuming they would be on Virgin just because it's Virgin Voyages. Again, an assumption. I don't actually know. And there were some okay ones that were like 30-ish hours of travel, but there were some really fucked up ones that had like multiple layovers, different planes, all of the things, and it was like 60 hours worth of travel. And I was like, what you get absolutely stitched up by going on like by booking your deposit and then getting this ridiculous like long hour fucking ride on the plane because they won't tell you anything. They just want to take your money and then tell you. And I was like, that's a really big red flag from me. And I missed her call, so I didn't call her back. And then Flight Center just asked me my budget and stuff and didn't even like know I was inquiring about the specific thing for some fucking reason. So honestly, I kind of ghosted them. And like, hear me out. I fucking hate when people ghost, but they didn't even answer my questions properly. They couldn't even give me the time of day to call me. I gave them my phone number and they couldn't even be bothered to call me. Yes, the other place did, but they sent me the email first and then they called me to like follow it up. And it wasn't even the same girl. And I was just kind of like, put some fucking effort in, babe. Like seriously. And the fact they extended the date is even funnier to me. Was it that busy that they had so many people and they were inundated and they couldn't message me? Not that there was an apology for even being late or anything. Like, it's just really strange and weird, and they just weren't taking my inquiry seriously. But hear me out. Is this because I have higher expectations because I run my business? Because the girls that have worked with me would know the turnaround time's quick. I make sure shit gets to you quick. I respond to you as quick as I can because that's important to me. Because like that's business. That's how you run your business. You don't just like leave people in the lurch for multiple days. That's how I do it anyway. I don't know if I just have it at a higher standard because I really like to run things from that higher standard and things like that. And you won't see me an unorganized mess unless other people have like changed things around and stuffed up my schedule, because my schedule is very specific and like time blocked, and I know where I need to be and what I need to be doing. And they fucked me up. So I'm kind of like, okay, is the Europe adventure in the bin? And the thing is as well, we have to be looking at around August because that's the only time Luke can get time off. Loser. So I'm like, okay, well, what about like Paris and stuff? And then I found a few, but they honestly were like not good timing because heaps of people at his work already have time off. Me, I can jet set anytime, honestly, but my face-to-face is really busy right now. So I feel like I would be like screwed over trying to change everyone around. But yeah, so anyone have any advice on anywhere I should go or anyone I should book through or whatever? I'm so happy to pay the commission, by the way. That is why I went through a travel agent. I feel like it would be more stressful for me to figure it out myself. I was so happy to pay the commission, but they were just piss taking. You're not even going to tell me the flights? That's ridiculous. And the hotel, they wouldn't tell me the hotel. They wouldn't tell me the flights. They wouldn't tell me any information. And I was like, I am not getting off at Athens airport in the middle of nowhere as a fucking white girl, and they're going to see me coming. I don't look European at all is the point. They're going to see me coming, they're going to know I'm a tourist, and then they're going to like charge me a bomb to get to my hotel that's probably an hour away. That's how I see it. So I'm fucked basically. But one of my clients said she used to work at Flight Centre. So we've been chatting, but like, you know, it hasn't been a big topic of conversation. So stay tuned. I'll let you know what I do. Otherwise, I guess I'll just go to Melbourne and Perth and whatever. But it's only early days, but I do want to go somewhere crazy. I feel like I deserve the holiday. I feel like I'm in a kind of good time in my life to be going away. I think right now it's like crazy. There's so much self-comparison and things, not just for me, but I'm seeing it online. So many people announcing their pregnancies, their marriages, their house purchases, and I do not feel anywhere near wanting to be in that space. And I think it's because I haven't even got to do things like travel. And I this is the crazy thing, and I've been thinking about this a lot, and I don't know if this is a comparison piece or not, but I almost subconsciously, the people I look up to in like the business space and just like role models, I guess, are right now around 28 to 30. I want to say they're in their late 20s, early 30s. And I almost subconsciously compare myself to where they're at and where I'm at now. And I'm always like needing to remind myself, and I've been catching myself out on it a lot lately, to take a moment to breathe and step back and realize that you are 5+ years behind these people and you're trying to match their energy. And I'm not trying to match their energy in like a competitive way. This isn't like other like coaches or whatever. It's just like mentors and things like that. I just look up to them. I think they've done such cool shit. I want to do cool shit. You guys know I have like big plans. I haven't released them all yet, but you know that I have like big plans for things. And I see other mentors and stuff doing those things, and I really like look up to them, and I'm like, wow, like why can't I be there yet? Or why am I not good enough to be there yet? And things like that. And I'm like, well, actually, what were they doing at 23, Jess? Like, relax. You still have so much time. And I think I want to spend more of this time still doing the things. I'm still in my hustle era, if you will, but I also said I wanted to take risks this year. And I think just booking a holiday and kind of being YOLO about it almost is like taking a risk. And you can feel any type of way about what I'm saying, because maybe you're in a stage where you are engaged, or you're thinking about or having like planning to have kids and things like that. And it's such a comparison thing because everyone's in different stages. I'm still in a stage where I don't even know what I want, but I saw something the other day and it was like 30s are basically your 20s with more money if you have no kids. And I was like, that sounds honestly iconic. Like in your 30s almost, I feel like you have stuff set up, you are financially like in a better position, and you can kind of just almost do whatever the fuck you want. You probably have your own house and things by then. And it just seems like really like wild times, but that's also so far away for me. And I was talking about how I was seeing a lot of announcements and stuff like that for pregnancy, whatever, and my mum was like, oh, it's like your age group, you know what I mean? And I was like, is it though? I feel like there's no norm anymore, yet we still self-compare to everyone around us when there isn't a norm anymore. I think there's people my age that literally have kids starting school this week. And I'm like, I could never imagine that. Like, that is wild to me. So I feel like there's no right or wrong with it all. And you need to almost like focus on your own path. And I just think like other people's success doesn't actually determine your failure. And that is something really, really big for me that I've been thinking on. Just because other people are succeeding in other ways doesn't actually mean I'm failing. It just means I'm not there yet. And maybe I want to take things in a different direction. And I keep thinking really far ahead in things like, where do I want this to be in terms of business and whatever, and lifestyle and whatever in a couple years. And I think right now the things I just want to do is see more of the world, travel more, do more like spontaneous fun things. You guys already know that I've been trying to like book something in at least every single month. I actually booked something yesterday for April. So I haven't figured out what I'm doing yet in March, but I've been trying to still be like just doing more. And it's not even about the money for me. Honestly, I was thinking about this. Obviously, I've been having lots of thoughts. I really need to sit down and chit chat. I was thinking on the weekend about how so many people kind of complain about the cost of everything, and I fully get it. Like, this is not coming from an ignorant place, but it's where you want to put your money and what actually makes you happy, because going out and eating meals like every single date night once a week and it being like $100 every time doesn't really make me happy compared to paying like $100 for a ticket to something, to some sort of event or something like that. Like, I would prefer that experience than just wasting it on like date night or whatever. And I think people like talk to me all the time about, you know, because obviously I have a mentor and things like that, and I spend a lot of money on her. A lot of money. And a lot of people complain about the price of like coaching and fitness and things like that, which, you know, again, this is not me to say it's not expensive, it is expensive, whatever. I think the cost of things is dependent on you and your priorities. But I can straight out say she's expensive, but I am happy to pay it. I happily pay it. I don't miss my payments. I don't complain about the cost of it because it makes me a better person, and those are the things I want to invest in. I don't care about fucking objects. Whenever I go shopping, my partner will point out things. I don't need it. It's a dust collector. I don't need more activewear. I have so much I can barely wear half of it. I don't actually need those things because they're just temporary dopamine fixes. Like, I could go and buy a fucking $8 cookie and buy like a box of them for like $50, but I actually don't care enough. Like, there's a time and a place, don't get me wrong. You will see me at Butterboy every now and again when I'm in Manly, but the point is, like, I don't actually care for that stuff. I would rather just put that money into investing in things I care about, which is like service-based things. Like, I like being in her world. I want to be a part of that and things like that. And I think that has been kind of flipping a switch in a lot of people's minds recently, especially like even I've noticed it with my clients. I've had some past clients messaging me and re-signing and things like that because they want to come back in, because it's just there's no other support and energy that you can get elsewhere. Don't get me wrong, we have supportive partners and things like that, but the conversations that I have with my mentor are so high level. They're just not the same type of conversations I can have with my partner or anyone else. I try to explain to him, but it's like over his head, let's be real. And I think it's the same with fitness. Like, the reason so many of us feel so lonely in our journey and start comparing and all of the things is because we have no one to talk to. And I almost find that lately I've been talking so many of my clients off the ledge a little bit because they're in this constant scroll hole comparison, looking at everyone else and stressing about everything. Even a really recent conversation I had with one of my trend and trendy girls was like, oh, just because like the scale's not moving, and then I was struggling in the gym, the weights weren't moving, and I was just feeling not good enough. And I was like, you have 101 reasons why you are good enough, and a number on the fucking scale literally has nothing to do with that. You are getting in your head because you think that this pathway of the scale going down is the right one, and you think because the scale's not going down for you, you're almost on the wrong pathway, or you're doing something wrong, and you're not. You're doing everything right. There is no right or wrong in that. And that's something I've learned a lot in business as well. I almost do things a bit differently to other coaches. I feel like I just am like a fish out of water almost, which is like, So random, but I do things a little bit unconventional. I just kind of run it in a way that I enjoy running it because I fucking can. And I'm not going to be a carbon copy of someone else. And like, there's no right or wrong. And it took me so long to learn that because I didn't want to do this like structured way of things. And I felt wrong for that. And then my mentor was like, there is no right or wrong. Do it however the fuck you want it. Like, just send it. And I've just been sending it however the fuck I want it. And the right girls have been flowing in, like business is going crazy. And I just feel like as soon as you quit comparing, thinking of that, like basically as soon as you quit not focusing on your path in whatever it is, obviously I'm talking about business, but I think a lot of people listening to this will resonate in terms of whether it's your job or health and fitness or whatever the thing is, you find success on your own path. Something else as well is, will it matter in a year? That's something I've been trying to take on as well. Like right now, what I'm getting stressed about, will it matter in a year? Will it matter next week? Will it matter in 5 minutes? If no, who cares? Move past it, move on. Honestly, I've been taking the no worries approach so much this year. If things just are going to shit, I'm just like, cool, no worries, that's fine. Like literally, it's hard. It's so much like easier said than done. And am I perfect at it? No. But it actually helps me realize that I'm staying on my path and I'm not taking on stresses unnecessarily. Does this mean that I'm not stressed at all? No, like of course business is stressful, but I've just been leaning so much into like the emotional side of things, not comparing myself to others, kind of dictating my own path and doing whatever the fuck I want. And it's just been like paying off really well. And I just feel very aligned with everyone in my life right now. You could almost say I was overthinking a lot based on all of these conversations lately. And I think overthinking takes a lot away from our actual genuine thoughts. It's because of the societal timeline. I was talking to one of my clients recently and she was saying, oh, I want to go traveling. I want to get married. Like, but then I have so much going on with work and uni and life. And I was like, girl, like it's great to have all these goals in mind and wanting to get like married and wanting to go traveling and stuff. But in the same breath, stop letting life and uni control every single aspect of your life. When I say life, I mean like life stresses and things like that and work, not like life. If you're only caring about work and uni, when are you filling up your cup? When are you looking after yourself? When are you actually making time for anything else? And I think that's where the mental health piece kind of comes in. And that is why I bang on about this so much, but you are never, ever, ever going to achieve the goals you want if you don't start prioritizing your mental health. But if you throw in the towel with your physical activity and like looking after your nutrition and health and actually feeling your body, then it's just a revolving door. I was talking to someone the other day and she's like, my mental health's in a really, really bad place. And I was like, I'm not here to give advice, but let's keep moving. Let's just do things to fill up your cup. Let's get outside in the sun. Let's do things. And like, it's almost unheard of for a weight loss coach to be promoting not doing your session and getting outside in the sun and stuff like that. But there's also an unmatched energy of, again, being in the support world and having like me to chat to. Even one of my clients, she re-signed the other day. Within the first day, she's sending me long ass paragraphs, literally writing like, sorry for the vent. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I need to know. I want to hear it, which is true. Like, I want you to vent to me. But it's like she could finally get everything off her chest because we hadn't been working together. So she couldn't almost tell me these things in that much detail. Obviously, we chatted like here and there, but you know, it's like different to having that one-on-one capacity. And I felt like it was almost like a weight lifted off her shoulders, being able to be back in my world and be with me and things like that. And I feel like that is unmatched, especially when every single thing, work, freaking uni, anything is like taking over. Like, where is your outlet? Where is your release? And you might be thinking like, shut up, like that's not helping my mental health. It is. If your coach said to you, I want you to skip your session today in the gym and go outside, be intentional, sit in the sun, don't scroll, read a book or eat and be fully intentional, I think you would feel 10 times better because I know you would actually, not I think, I know you would, because it happened with one of my clients. I said, I want you to get off your phone and eat your lunch with intention. Like actually chew every single bite, stop scrolling while you're eating and rushing through your lunch. Sit outside in the sun, get off your phone, do not take your, she works from home, do not take your laptop out there and like see how that goes. Literally came back to me like a day later and was like, that was fucking great. I feel so good for it. And I honestly feel re-energized and I'm going to do my session anyway, because that's what I feel like doing and I feel in a good place about it. And I was like, literally, this energy is unmatched. I talk about this all the time on my stories. I'm a weight loss coach, but not everything needs to be centered about weight loss. Your weight loss success comes from your mindset. As soon as your mindset is in the bin and everything is spiraling, of course we want to give up. One of my clients the other day that said the scale's not moving and I just wanted to throw in the towel and give up. I was like, it's not about the scale. There's so many other things going on. I can see how positive you are and how much of a better mindset you are in. Also, her progress photos and stuff are insane too, but like, let's not even just focus on the physical. I was like, your mental alone is insane and I want you to keep going. I don't care if the scale goes up, stays the same. I don't care. Keep going, because this is the best place that you've ever been in for a really, really long time. I almost think we seek perfection because we have so much anxiety about the future. I definitely feel this too, and I actually do think this is a strong point of like navigating your 20s, is always thinking so far ahead. As I just said before, I'm guilty of it. I always think really far into the future of things, comparing like 5 years down the line. Who knows what's going to happen? 5 years ago is basically when COVID started. Did we know that was going to happen? No. And like, so many people navigated that differently, and I kind of did thrive in it, but it did take away some fundamental years of our early 20s, and I almost feel like, how would life have been if that didn't happen? But then I can't really dwell on that, so then I'm like, let's think ahead. And like, no, there's no right or wrong. Let's just actually be in the moment and stop overthinking future, what's going to happen, all of the things. And again, this plays into the societal expectations, timelines, and norms, as well as comparison to what everyone else is doing. But I've talked about this before. It is such a highlight reel. Just because someone's posting their engagement doesn't genuinely mean they're happy. Someone could post their brand new car. Actually, I know someone posted their brand new car the other day. She literally is in debt and had to finance her car. And does that mean it's a bad thing? No, like, she can do what she wants. But it's the thing is, only people close to her would know that. The outside perspective is, wow, like, how did she get a brand new like $50,000-$60,000 car? Right? So now I honestly look at things from an outside lens and I don't compare myself to things like that. And it's funny, we almost subconsciously compare, but if I actually sat down here and talked about it, which I'm about to, I don't even want a new car. I don't even want like a house. I don't even know where I would buy a house. Like, seriously, I have not looked into it at all. I don't even really care about getting engaged. It's not even a topic that my partner and I have discussed, which is funny because I have clients like similar age, even younger than me, and they have already discussed it with their partner and they have a full plan of where they want it done, or they get their nails done every single month to ensure that they are like ready, which is so funny. Like, I never even get my nails done, so I'll never be ready. They'll be chewed down to the fucking core because unfortunately I am still fucking biting my nails and I can't stop. I literally can't stop. So what, am I going to compare myself to someone's with their fucking perfect nails? No, it's just stupid. It's not worth it. It's like, literally, life is too short. I've been thinking this so much, and I do want to talk more into this in another episode when I start watching more. But there is a new series on Netflix called Apple Cider Vinegar. Now, I know it's about the girl like lying about having cancer and things like that, but people in the show, or even in real life in the story, I haven't followed along the real life story properly, so I'm just going to talk on the series sense, had cancer. That was like their true story, and it kind of shifted a bit of a perspective in me the other day just from watching the first episode, that life is like literally so short and random shit like that can happen all the time. And I've never been my healthiest, fittest, best self as of right now. 2025, I've just been growing and flowing. I've been thriving, I would say. And I said that I wanted to take risks. I wanted to do more things, and I don't want to be as stressed out. And I think that I can hustle and grind in business and still enjoy life, because I'm never going to be this fit, which is why I'm like, it's the best time to travel. I feel like I would fly up those fucking stairs. You know, when you're like traveling and you're trying to walk up the stairs and you're puffed AF and you're like, fuck, I'm so unfit. I feel like I'm in my prime fitness. I'd fly up them. And this is like not a flex. I used to never even be able to run. I couldn't run more than 250 meters. I was terrible. Like, we all start somewhere, and I started at the bottom with running. I had to learn like the technique and form with running. I had to my first ever run with Luke was on netball courts, because I wanted to go somewhere like flat, quiet, private, because I was embarrassed that I couldn't run more than 5 seconds. And yeah, I could only do like about half to a full netball court, and then we eventually moved up to like a semicircle, and then we eventually moved to like footpaths, and then I eventually ran 12 Ks in like an hour and 10 minutes. It was like a 5:57 pace or something like that. I did track it. I can't remember. But there's just so much random shit that I actually can do and I wouldn't know I could do unless I just started and tried. And I feel like I should be taking advantage of my full health and full fitness. And this show put it in perspective for me, because one day you could just wake up, you could get really sick, you could like some shit could be hitting the fan, someone could pass away. I've been talking about this a lot with Luke as well. Like you could literally die tomorrow. And yes, it's morbid and it's like a full conversation, but it kind of flipped a switch in me recently that I just want to do more, get out more, like be more adventurous, spontaneous, and actually push my body a little bit. This is not me announcing that I'm fucking running an Ironman or something like that. Like, fuck no, that is not for me. But I want to be able to do more. I don't want to just sit here and waste my health. And I think it did flip the switch for me as well with one of my new clients that I did share a little bit of her story with you guys about her having so many injuries and now her bone density is like 80 years old. I just can't imagine starting back at square one with things like that, and I really want to look after it. I see it even with my mum, like she feels like she's lost a lot of strength and bone density and things like that, and she's only 50. No, actually she's 40. She's 40. Nah, so she's only 50, and I'm like, I don't want to be at that point. Again, I am looking in the future, but it's how I live my life now. I don't want to be at that point and be like stressing about that my bones aren't strong enough. I want to like be practicing what I preach, of course, but I want to be working on those 1%ers as well. And it's funny because yes, I'm in a deficit right now, which I'll share more soon. Live updates in my broadcast as well. But by the way, it's free on Instagram. Click on my broadcast. I always share updates so you can get candid live conversations. But I'm in a deficit right now, but it's not just centered around weight loss. It's centered around pushing my body, seeing what I can do, and actually testing it. Something about me as well. Fuck, I've really jumped conversations, but this is sometimes how my brain runs when I have a lot to talk about. So hope you're not getting too pissed off at me. Sorry. But with the deficit, what I like to do is kind of test things out. I like to test them out before I get my clients to do them, because I want to walk the talk basically and see how things work. So I've been like calorie cycling. I've been eating different calories and swapping around my training, swapping around steps. I'm only doing 4 sessions a week, which the old me, I used to do 5, sometimes even 6, which is wild. So I've scaled back my sessions, seeing how I'm going with things, and it's actually been going quite good. I like to do it just so that my clients have different options as well. There isn't just one way to lose weight loss, but I don't think that I should be teaching a particular way unless I've trialed it on myself. So that's what I've been doing at the moment as well. But yeah, so I've just been trialing to be my best self, my healthiest, fittest self, and things like that. And I just feel like everything is flowing as well. And watching this series, so it's Apple Cider Vinegar on Netflix, and it's based on Mel Gibson. Just watching this kind of just like put into perspective, like I'm at full health and I should be taking advantage of that. I honestly haven't even had like a touch wood cold or flu or anything like that for years. I used to get chronic tonsillitis and I haven't had it for years. And I just feel like I need to take advantage of where I'm at right now and stop thinking of where other people are at or where I should be at, or comparing myself to some stupid made up timeline when I don't even know where I want to be at and I haven't worked it out. And I think if you haven't worked it out, that is perfectly fine and normal. It shouldn't be scary to admit. I'm admitting to the internet right now, I haven't got it worked out. There is chaos in my 20s, but that's actually fucking fine, and it doesn't need to be different because I go through so many different ebbs and flows and I need to just calm down a little bit. So this is a bit of a reminder that comparison is the thief of joy. Stop letting other people's success dictate whether you are successful or you're a failure, because it doesn't matter. And that's not how things are determined. Will it matter in a year? Yes or no? And stop letting work and uni control your whole entire life. Stop sitting down and not moving from your desk and ruining your fucking posture for 10 hours a day because you want a degree. Honestly, you can have both. You can still move your body. The clients that come to me struggling the most with injuries and pains are the clients that sit at their desk all day studying and things like that and don't have anything implemented to move their body. So this is your sign to move your body. Stop overthinking, stop feeling anxious about the future, and honestly, stop seeking perfection. I've said this before. Hannah Montana has already debunked that one. Nobody's fucking perfect. Stop seeking perfection. You're not going to be able to determine the light on your path and what your path entails. So take a moment to sit back and relax and enjoy your fittest, healthiest self in your current moment. And if you're like, okay, Jess, but I'm not my fittest, happiest self right now, do something, change it, implement walks, get a fucking backstrap for your terrible posture. I don't know what you need, but whatever you think you need, send it. If you've been thinking about something and like it's been on your mind non-stop, take the plunge, purchase the thing, do the thing. If it's on your mind that much, it's on your mind for a fucking reason. Anyway, I feel like I've rambled your whole entire ear off. If you want more from me, as I said, my broadcast has live updates on Instagram. So you just go over to my Instagram and join. It's free. It's just me yapping in your ears whenever I feel like it. It's super candid and honest. And honestly, it's funny. Sometimes I listen to them back and giggle at myself. So if you're there for the vibes, go and join that. If not, I will see you next time. Thank you for joining me, and we will talk soon. That's a wrap on another episode of Navigating Your 20s. Thank you so much for joining me and taking the time to listen. If you enjoyed the conversation, vibes, and got something out of today, please feel free to send me a DM with any key takeaways and feedback, or share on your socials and tag me so we can connect. If you liked today's episode and you're wanting more from me, you can find me on all socials at success.withjess.